Hi, a very good morning to you, everyone. A very beautiful morning to you. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope everyone is doing so far so good, that their families are doing well, that your friends are doing well, and your relatives are doing so well. I am doing well, and we are all doing well. So I'm very, very happy at this moment, to be talking to you and still keeping on our day. It's day 12 today, I think. On our day 12, on how can we get better over time, how can we improve, and how can we shape things around us, how can we keep getting better every single day. It's a daily campaign. Getting better is a daily campaign in life. It's about growth. So we keep on keeping on. We keep on getting better every single day. We keep on being mindful that if we don't show up, nothing will show up for us. We know, and we are aware that if we don't keep beating ourselves up, if we don't keep pushing ourselves up, we are not going to have any breakthroughs in our lives. And therefore, that what makes me happy at the end of the day, to know that I am in control, and things can get better or they can get worse depending on what I am choosing. That today I can decide that my life is going to be upward and forward. My life is upward and forward. I can challenge myself today to say I am willing to become better. I am willing to be the force, to reckon with. I am willing to get better every single day. So on our day 12 today, we talked about when things don't work out. And we know that there are so many days in our lives when things don't add up. There are so many days in our lives when things don't just go according to plan. When everything we thought will show up never shows up. We know there are moments in our lives like that. And therefore, when I reflect back on the past sessions we have led from day 1 up until to day 12, the messages that I'm getting from most of you, the emails, all the text messages and the inbox that I'm getting, I'm really, really happy to see that this is transforming you, that this is building up, this is getting better, this is helping you, to become the best version of yourself. And that's what we are here for. We are here to refine each other. Iron sharpens iron. We are here to get better over time. We are here, to inspire each other to become the best version of ourselves. And that's what life is about. And remember, one of my favorite quotes that I loved talking about, I said, from the gentleman from France. He's a poet. One of the things, the statement he shared in one of his poems, he said, we are each angels with one wing. He said, we are each angels with one wing, and we can only fly by embracing each other. He said, we are each, all of us, we are just like angels with one wing, and we can only fly by embracing each other. We can only do better by helping each other to do better. We can only go far when we go together, that together is better than singleness. So we are aware that every single day is the best day to show up and to be your best. That yesterday may have not been good. Yesterday may have been worse. Yesterday may have not been going according to plan, but you are aware that today is the day that things can work out. Today is the day that you can decide that I may have had my rough patches, but from now onwards, I am going to deal with whatever is on my plate. Because most of the time, we know for sure, we don't deal with issues at hand. We try to find other things to run away to, and we make that a habit, such that when every single day when we are faced with something, we keep running. And I know that for the most part of my younger age, at my childish days, I ran away from a lot of things that I had to face. I ran away from school. I dropped out of school. I ran away from so many things that I had. The relationship that I had, I ran away. So you realize that as we cultivate that to be part of who we are, we end up becoming that. So today is the right day, and you are not hearing this for coincidence. You are hearing this because you are supposed to hear this. How do we deal with things when they don't work out? How do we deal with things when they go sideways? How do we deal with issues? How do we deal with our businesses when things happen beyond what we can control? When things go beyond what we are able to do? How do we get them together? When the relationship we've invested in is no longer going well. When the work environment, our careers, you are told today you are fired. How do we make that breakthrough? When we see that things that were supposed to be on the right way, when we thought that things were on the right path, have you realized that most of the time things go wrong when you thought they are now elevating and growing? Have you realized that most of the time when we think like, oh man, I got this, things are going well according to plan, oh, I'm so happy, that's when things go wrong. That when you are in that momentum to keep doing your best after the best, that's when things go sideways. So our test of character goes through, every moment when we are feeling like we are doing well, that's when things press us down. So we must be mindful all the time that as we are enjoying this season, we are preparing for the next season. As we are preparing for the next season, we are preparing for the next and the next and the next season. That we are aware that life is not a smooth sail. And that makes us happy because now when we are down, we know the only way to go is up. And when we are up, we know we are about to go down. So we are mindful and present and we know about this now. Most people act like they don't know. When things hit the ground, they quit. When things hit the ground, they quit. When they are happy and things are going well, that's fine. But when things have to go down, they don't want them to go down. But life is the ups and downs, the lows and the highs. Sometimes you are here, sometimes you are not here. Sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't go well. But how do we prepare for such a moment when things are not going according to plan? When things we were thinking they will go this way and they go the other way. That sometimes we have these beautiful plans for our future, ideas for our future, the right structure for our future, but things hit the fence and we don't know what we are going to do now. This is the right moment to know how can you navigate through life of challenges. Life is a life of challenges. I remember my mentor would say, life is a daily campaign. Every single day you are campaigning for what you believe in. You are fighting for what you believe in. You are constantly in motion to build the life you want. And every single day, you are deciding whether you are going up or you are going down. Thank you, guys. That was just making an introduction about what we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about when things don't work out. When things don't work out. I see Sibosisiwe is online. Sibosisiwe all the way from Eswatini. Thank you so much for joining us. Daniel Ramadubu is online as well. Blessed morning. We are back again. This is our day 12. Guys, your messages has been so enlightening and inspiring. I believe in the saying that we are inspired by those we inspire. It really works magic. We are inspired by those who inspire. Your messages that I've got yesterday, they have been so wonderful. They have been enlightening and giving me the courage to keep on doing, to keep on showing up every single day. And remember, as you build friends during hard times, I think for me, I would prefer to build friends during hard times than to have friends during good times. Because in good times, everyone can be good. Everyone can have a smile. Everyone can share coffee. Everyone can say cheers. But when hard times hit, our character and our true colors are put to the ground. The crisis exposes who we really are. And we know that some people really, when it hits the fence, they are not as kind as you think they are. When it hits the fence, they are not as beautiful as you thought they are. So I would rather build friends during the crisis right now. From day 1 up until day 16 or day 15, we are going to be sharing life journey. We are going to be sharing how can we get better through all this? How can we improve through all these issues? How can we get better through all these issues? Mr. Donald, as always, here for more. Thank you, Mr. Donald, for joining us. And remember, guys, copies of my books are available. Soft copies. Make sure you get them. The Birth of Greatness, Embrace of Greatness, and Celebrating Greatness. So you get greatness, I welcome you. Greatness, I welcome you. So make sure you get the copy to continue to elevate yourself more and more and more. If you don't have my audio, affirmation audio, I saw that Sibosisio listens to the audio in the mornings. Do that as well. Listen to these audios, activate yourself day in and day out and get better at what you do. Life is about growth and every day we grow. And my value that I had yesterday is not the same that I have today because I am growing, I am learning, I am elevating on how I do things and my value increases over time. That's what I love about growing people, that our value increases over time. We keep on getting better and better and better. Like the Bible says, God's mercy renews every single day. Just like that, we are renewed in our strength, we are renewed in our abilities, we are renewed in our skills, we are renewed in how we offer service. So our value keeps on improving all the time. I see already good morning, coach and the team. And Kenny, I'll wake up and show up. Wake up and show up. You remember the words that I shared about Les Brown? They said, make sure that when you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. When we are talking about building consistency and momentum. All right, for today's topic, we are talking about, when things don't work out. Can I see those who are saying, Mr. Makwana, me too. There have been pauses and there have been times in my life when things didn't work out. When I had an idea that this is what I'm going to do. I still remember, last December, I didn't even go home because I was busy working on the structure of my 2020 growth tour. I had 5 cities and 1 international tour. Actually, we had 3, South Africa and Namibia, which we were supposed to do during this time. But when I was sitting down and planning, that this is how we are going to do it, everything in January, it rolled out well. We had the first 5-city tour. It went well. All our bookings were fully booked. We went to Eswatini, did so well, more than what we expected. But guess what happens? Immediately after coming back and settling home to set for another tour where we are supposed to go to Namibia, it all hit home. Now we were faced with this problem of corona and nothing worked. We had so many gigs for staff development and corporate training that we had to cancel, that they were postponed, and it affected my business so bad. So I had that idea of what I'm going to do. It all happens to all of us. Whether you are good, whether you are amazing, whether you are handsome, whether you are beautiful, it all happens to us. That at some point, there gets a position when the things we thought were going to happen, they don't happen. We all go through times when the things we expected to show up, they don't show up. The money we expected is never given to us. The business model we thought it would work, it does not work. We all go through that, and that is life. L-I-F-E. That is life. That when we thought that things were going right, they end up going wrong. When we thought we were going up, we found ourselves facing down. That everything else that we expected may not show up as we thought it would be. But it is not the people who are getting the best things that are able to thrive during crisis. It is not people who are given the right conditions. I know, I was doing biology. One of the things that I love about biology, and I used to talk a lot about enzymes. I said enzymes are substrate specific. You have to have the conducive environment for them to thrive. But unlike biology, in this life, sometimes even when we have the conducive environment for business to thrive, there are issues beyond our control that hit us hard. My mentor said, beware of life because it will hit you on the blind spot. That life, when you thought everything was going up, everything else goes down. I still remember even in my family, in the history of my family, I remember my grandfather, the main man himself, Makwana, the one who used to play music. He was so passionate about agriculture. He used to tell me so many stories when I was young about London, about his trips that he used to do on business trips and stuff like that. I remember the day when he was sick. And we were told, no, today he's feeling much better. You are going to see him tomorrow. And we never saw him the next following day. That when we thought that now is getting better, now I am feeling better, that's when it gets worse. And that is life. But how do we prepare for unpredictable situations in our lives, in our businesses, in our relationships, that when we thought our careers are thriving, and that's the following day you show up, and that's for the first day in your life, coming early at work, you receive an early retirement. That you were showing up with the passion and the zeal that today I am going to make 50 calls, only to get there and told, no, today don't make any calls at all. We are retrenching. We are letting you go. The company cannot be able to sustain you anymore. That all this news, bad news, good news, we are getting them all day long, all seasons, summer, spring, autumn, winter, that every season comes with its own problems. Every season comes attached with its own package. How are we getting ready through that? How can we get ready for that moment when it hits the fence and we are ready to rise up on our feet and push forward, upward and forward? How do we prepare for such moments? And that's what I want to share with you today. I would like to start with our thought of the day, our quote of the day today. Les Brown, my favorite guy. He said, when things go wrong, don't go with them. When things go wrong, don't go with them. It sounds so cliche. It sounds so cliche when you are talking to someone who has just lost their marriage right now. We're not talking to someone who just lost their job right now. To say, my friend, there's nothing I can say. I still remember in the Bible, Peter, when he was walking into the place of worship, you saw the gentleman sitting down. He said, silver or gold we do not have. The gentleman was looking for silver or gold. But they said, silver or gold we do not have, but by the name of the Lord, rise up and walk. And he was able to receive his miracle. But sometimes your miracle is in this way, that when things go wrong, don't go with them. When the marriage break, don't break with it. When you lose your job, don't lose yourself. When you lose people who don't support you, don't lose supporting yourself. there gets a point where the only person who can get you through the night is you, by making the decision that things are not going as planned, but I am going to plan a new path. Things are not going as I wanted them to go, but today I am showing up as if that's how I wanted them to go. It's not the people who have all the conducive environment who are able to make a progress. No, people who make the best are those who make the best out of the way things turn out. People who turn things right are those who make the best out of the way things turn out. People who turn out to be the best, they are those who make the best out of the way things turn out. They are not expecting things, but whatever turns out, they are willing to make the best out of it. And I'm challenging you that during this time, you may be going through a lot, and I understand. I don't underestimate what you are going through, but when things go wrong, don't go with them. Instead of reacting, reflect. Instead of reacting, reflect. Take a step back and say, I did not expect this, but what can I do to take my life to the next level? I did not expect this outcome, but how can I turn it around to my benefit? I did not expect this. We are laying you off. Your job is no longer relevant to what we are doing today. But because I got that letter today, what am I going to do forward to craft a new path? Most people have gone through a lot in their lives. You know our stories, and I know some of you, your stories, and you know my stories as well. And it's not like I have a bulletproof heart. I do not have a bulletproof heart, but I am aware that if I lose this moment and lose myself, I am going to lose everything. And therefore, in the midst of everything that tells me quit, in the midst of everything that tells me give up, in the midst of everything that tells me kill yourself, hang yourself, there are moments we all get through that. And I have been through moments where I felt like, why should I leave? Why should you leave? And you start having these thoughts, but does it matter for you to be around? You don't really matter. Your ideas don't matter. Whatever you are doing, why are you doing it? It seems like people are not even interested. We all get through those moments. We all get through those moments, and you are not alone. But what we do is that we do not let ourselves to lose ourselves when everything else we have is losing out. So we can gain external losses. Yes, that can happen. You can take my job. Yes, that can happen. You can take away my business model. It can happen. You can steal my phone. You can steal everything in my life, but you're not going to steal my joy. You're not going to steal my peace. You're not going to steal my motivation. You're not going to steal my courage. Why? Because inside of me is the courage of a beast that I am willing to show up every single day, regardless of who is showing up for me. I am going to show up for me. Get in a position where now you get sick and tired of showing up for your boss, showing up for your spouse, showing up for your family. Now you are showing up for you. And you are aware that when I lose everything else, and we know losses, they are coming. And the wins and the losses, they always balance out. To every action, there is equal but opposite reaction. When one object pushes on another, the other object is pushing on another. As you win, the losses are coming. As you lose, the wins are coming. So you must make a decision, a personal decision, commitment that when things go wrong, I am not going to go with them. I am going to take 2 steps, and then I'm going to detach myself. And I'm going to ask myself this question: what can I do when things that I thought will show up for me are not showing up? Now, what is my next move? What am I supposed to do now? Let me start with point number 1 now. Point number 1 on what we can do when we are dealing with issues, when things don't work out, is that we must activate our courage. And I know some people, when it goes bad, that is when they start to listen to motivation. When the relationship hits the fence, that's when they start going to church. There are certain people when things start going wrong, that's when they remember their creator. So now, their strength and their courage is not up to the standard of the battles they are fighting, because they only want to practice when they are going for the finals. Oh man, like when I go to college, I got to understand that unlike in high school, you don't say I'm going to write the final exam and pass and go. In college, there is, continuous assessment, CA. So there is CA1, there is CA2, there is CA3, there is CA4, and then there's exam. Then it's 50-50. Your CA, 50%. Your exam, 50%. So now, if you have the mindset of showing up only on the exam time, you'll never make it. You will go all the way, get 100% there and get on 50. You lose 1 mark, you are out. So now, there are people today who are faced with challenges. It's not that they are not strong people. It's just that they were not practicing when they did practicing time. And now they want to show up for the examination and they fail because they are not prepared for what they are faced with. And therefore, I'm challenging you. It's not the bulletproof heart that people are able to make breakthroughs. It's that they are willing to practice even before it gets hard. Why am I able to share this motivation consistently for 15 days with you? Because during the happy times, I was preparing for moments like this. I was aware that it's a happy time. Sad times are coming. The Bible even says there's season for everything. The season to cry and the season to laugh. The season to be together and the season to separate. Now, when you are in the moment of the season of being together, get ready for the season of being apart from the person. When you are signing a contract that we are hiring you for 3 years, get ready for the time after 3 years when they have to let you go. And maybe sometimes it's not even after 3 years, it's after 1 year. Sometimes it's even after 1 month. And therefore, if you are still stuck in what is happening right now, you may not be ready for what is going to happen in the next hour. And I'm challenging you, as you go through life, it's a must that you cultivate the courage. And you are not going to be ready when they are telling you, tomorrow we are playing the nationals and you are going to practice now. There are people who want to practice on the finals. There are people who want to get ready when the opportunity is here and they miss the opportunity. It's not that they are not qualified. They are qualified, but they didn't qualify themselves for the right moment when the opportunity will come. It's better to have an opportunity and not be prepared than to have an opportunity. It's better to be prepared and have no opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Those are the words of Les Brown. That some of you, it's not that you are going through depression. It's just that you were focused on so much happiness in that relationship that when someone said, I don't love you anymore, I was making you a favor, you are actually not beautiful as I said it before, now you are losing yourself. When things go wrong, don't go with them. And you can't build courage the moment you face problems. Courage is not something you say, baby girl, come and bring me courage from the cupboard. No, it's something you cultivate in the internal you. You are sweating blood during practice time. You are aware that sad times are coming. Bad moments are coming. Worst days are coming. The moment of the storm is on the way. I better be ready today. And therefore, every single day, you are listening, you are reading, you are attending seminars on how can I prepare for the times when things hit the fence. That is how we can do that. I see Donald say, sweat more in peacetime and bleed less in times of war. Exactly. You sweat more in peacetime so that you can bleed less in times of war. So most people are not doing that. They are willing to sweat more during war and they bleed more. And therefore, we must be aware that courage is a continuous build up. As we get from day one and tomorrow and next week, we must be building in us, what am I going to do when things don't go as I planned? It's not you being negative, it's you being mindful that life is life and it kicks from all sides. And therefore you must be prepared for the times when the boat hit the rock bottom. And therefore when you are not prepared, people are going to lose you, not because the storm was heavy, but because you were not ready. It's not the storm, it's you. Are you able to sweat more during peacetime so that you can bleed less during war? And therefore the courage we have to build, courage is going to help us. The gentleman said this about courage. He said courage is about moving from failure to failure to failure and still not losing your motivation. It's moving from failure to failure, from no, but still not losing your courage to keep showing up. It's the ability to say, I know that what I am going through is going to pass, and therefore I am going to show up every single day without losing my courage. That we all are going through a lot. We all are going through issues. We all are going through a lot. Say issues. You can write, say, issues. We all have issues, but we are not letting issues to move us to be the people that we are not. Who we are is really revealed during a time of crisis. That when people seek guidance, when people seek motivation, when people seek encouragement, are you the one who is going to stand up and say, I am going to fight this battle? I want to share with you a story from the Bible. David versus Goliath. Right? David never fought any kind of Goliath before. But guess what he fought during his time when he was looking after the cattle or the sheep for his family? He fought jackals, he fought lions, he fought bears with bare hands. He killed all of them. And that was building the courage. He was sweating more during practice time, during taking care of the sheep, such that when it was time for him now to fight for his country, to fight for his tribe against the giant Goliath, he was able to defeat him. Why? Because he was working hard on practice time. What are you practicing? What are you doing today that can get you ready when you receive the news you never prepared for? What are you doing today that can put you in a position that can get you ready so that when you are going through hard times, you are able to be hard and make a breakthrough? That's a challenge that I'm telling you to do. Just like David, there comes a point where you have to fight your Goliath. But your Goliath is not the same as the small battles you were winning. You were winning against foxes, you were winning against jackals, you were fighting and killing bears with bare hands. But now is the time now to face Goliath in the war. So now you have sharpened your fighting spirit. You have been accustomed to a certain way of fighting. So you show up before the battle. You show up before the battle with a slingshot. So when people are amazed that how can you say you are going to make it through this problem? How are you going to face this Goliath? How are you going to kill him? You're not even carrying a sword. You're not even carrying your helmet. You haven't put on your army clothes on. And people are surprised and you're still making breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough because you sweat more during peace and you're bleeding less during war. That is the attitude of courage. Courage is life. Courage is saying, I'm not sure what is going to happen tomorrow, but I know that I'm going to get through it. I'm not sure of what I'm going to face, but what I'm doing right now, I am preparing myself for the hard times. Small steps, great distances. Small steps, great distances. Every single day, a little by layer by layer, marginal improvements over time. They make major improvements. Marginal improvements over time makes major improvements. Whatever we keep practicing every single day, whatever you listen to, whatever you watch, whatever you read, whatever you understand is setting you up ready for the next battle. When the next battle show up, are you going to be able to defeat it? Let me go to point number 2. Point number 2 is don't take things personal. When things go wrong, don't go with them. That's our quote of the day. And point number 1 was that you have to build courage. And you have to sweat more during practice time than during the final times. And then number 2, I'm saying, don't take things personal. There are people today who are still not able to move on from what happened to them yesterday. They are carrying yesterday's issues to today's issues. Now they have a pile and a pile and a pile and a pile and consuming piles of issues. Because they are still carrying things that happened to them yesterday. They are taking things that happened to them before. They are taking things personal. They are personalizing issues. They are personalizing their circumstances. They are personalizing whatever they are going through. So between them, when you look at them, there's no difference between issues and them. They have personalized issues. Now they look like issues. So every single day, they are not able to make a breakthrough. They are not able to make a breakthrough because they are busy focusing on the things they do not have control over. Not everything is about you. Not everything is about you. Some situations, they are coming to reveal to you the people who can stand by you, not to reveal you. Some situations come to reveal to you the skill set you must develop from now on going forward. What did I learn from this? A lot, that I can actually have my sessions online. I do not have to meet with you. We can make a call and we can do this. And from now, I am having an academy. I have an academy now. We are going to do more of our courses online. I've been setting up a website this morning from 3 a.m. up until 5 before I went for the radio. So now I am aware of what I'm able to do. Why? Because of this crisis. Things are not going right. And when they're not going right, how can you turn them around to go well for you? How can you take advantage of this hill? How can you take advantage of this downward spiral? What can you learn from what you are going through? Instead of, oh, things are not going well for me. People don't like me. Oh, me. Sometimes it's not about you. If you take things personal, you're not going to be able to differentiate your identity from your problems. You will end up being a problem yourself. Therefore, you must be mindful and present and understand this. It's not about you. It's about what skill can I acquire? What mindset should I cultivate from now onwards? There are certain people right now, you haven't come to my seminar or anything, but now you are able to access this free content here. Why? Because of the crisis. So now you cannot sit in your house and say, oh man, it can never happen. I thought I'm going to attend his seminar that was coming in Francistown. I thought I was going to attend his seminar in Maung. Now it's the end of it. No, you are finding ways and you are figuring things out. You are finding what can I do during this time to get myself in a position where I can take advantage of what I'm going through. It's about time to now to decide that I am not going to take things personal. I am not going to be a part of the problem. I am going to isolate myself from my problem to have a stand view that I am able to solve problems from a distance. I am not the problem, and there are issues that I can deal with them, but I can only deal with them when I don't personalize them. I am not the issues. So I am going to learn and cultivate myself so I understand what can I do so that I'm not affected by what happened to me yesterday. I am showing up to this day with zeal, motivation, courage, inspiration, and faith. Why? Because I'm not taking things personal. Yesterday's issues remains with yesterday. Let bygones be bygones. Now I am showing up to this day knowing that I can shape my destiny from what I do today. Today really matters. And therefore, if you are attaching yourself to circumstances and to issues around you, you are not going to be able to take advantage to grow. You are not going to take the advantage that you can take from the circumstances. You are going to be too blind, focusing on the problem and yourself, that you are going to miss the blessing that today is going to bring. And therefore, yesterday's issues are yesterday's issues, just like it says. Today's issues are today's issues. Me, I keep going forward, pushing the needle forward, getting better every single day, because I am aware that I will always be with me. Issues come to pass. Happiness come to pass. Everything come to pass. For me, I'm stuck with my dream. I'm stuck with my vision. And all I can do every single day is to show up and do all that I can do. So I'm challenging you that when issues come, don't take them personal such that now they get you off course. They get you off your route. They get you off your lane. Stay in your lane. Let issues come and pass. Let troubles come and pass. Let all these hating, swearing and stuff like that, people not counting on you, let it come and pass. Things come to pass. Don't store them for yourself. Things come to pass. Don't store them for yourself. Be flexible. Be fluid. I remember one thing we were taught about osmosis. They said it's the movement of particles from an area of high concentration to a movement of low concentration. So the tendency of things is to move always. They are constantly in movement, just like physics shows us or biology shows us. So don't store issues for yourself. Don't store problems for yourself. You are not the storage for problems. You are the storage for solutions. You have the creative power in you. So you are not going to take things personal, because inside of you lies greatness, ability, and creative power that you can take your life to the next level. If you are busy taking things personal, you are going to take your life off course. And therefore, I am challenging you. Whatever we face today is not going to kill us unless we decide so. What lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Those are the words of Waldo Emerson. What lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies inside of us. That our job losses is a tiny matter. Losing a relationship, tiny matter. Losing your money, tiny matter. Losing everything you have worked hard for, tiny matter compared to you, a living soul, a very powerful creature which can create anything it wants to create. You are powerful. You have all it takes to move from this situation. You have gone through a lot, and today you are not going to quit just because you are faced with this one. This is another one of those ones. This is one of those ones, and you are going to move the needle forward with progress and faith and courage, because you know that you have been through a lot, and this too shall pass. And we know it passes everything else come to pass. And then as we shift our mindset, like you are saying, we realize that it's not the problem, it's us. If we can take care of you, everything else will take care of itself. Let me read one comment before I go to point number 3. You are the best at what you do today, not what you did yesterday. You might have failed yesterday, but today is a new day for you to be the best. Today is a new day for you to do your best. You were the best yesterday, and it does not mean you will continue to be the best if you are not doing your best today. I remember we talked about this in the past season, in the past episodes, I know. But what I'm trying to say is the issues of yesterday, they have no place in today. They may be painful, yes, but at the end of the pain is success. My mentor said, pain is temporary. If you quit, however, it will last forever. Pain is temporary. If you quit, however, it will last forever. And then Lisa is saying, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but principalities in heavenly realm. Hence our battles are not carnal, but might in God through pulling down of the strongholds. And therefore we don't take things personal. We don't take things personal. Some battles has nothing to do with us. We are affected by them one way or the other, but they are not our battles. We can do our best where we are to inspire those who are going through issues so that they can see us portraying and behaving the courage we talk about, the faith we talk about. It's in this time of crisis that true leaders show up with courage. It's no longer time for preaching. Now we are showing up and we are showing people this is how we can portray kindness. This is how you can portray love. This is how you can portray motivation. This is how you can portray going forward. We show up during hard times so that we help those who are going through issues to get through them. And Opelo Ntwa Are, have a creative mindset, be flexible. Each day matters most. Every day matters. One of the best basketball coach that I've learned a lot, one of the people that I was studying this during this time is Muhammad Ali, and I studied one of the former basketball coach, I forgot it now, I even forget his name, and John Wooden. He said, make each day your masterpiece. Make each day your masterpiece. When you show up every single day, be mindful that there are people who are watching you, that sometimes when you quit, your quitting may seem small, but you are affecting those who are inspired by you. When you quit, there are people that God sent that only you are going to be a source of motivation, a source of inspiration. And when you give up, you are not only giving up on yourself, you are giving up on them. And they lose a lot because you have lost. And therefore your battles are not for you. It's a spiritual warfare. Life is spiritual. So every single day when we show up, we must be mindful that I have to go through this. And not only have, I must go through this. When you are in traffic, cozy, late in the evening, sunshine, all looking good, beautiful birds singing, and you are on traffic and you're just waiting for the traffic to move, and all of a sudden it's wheel. It's emergency time now. It's a must move now. You move all the way. It's the ambulance time now. So you have to move all the way and everything has to pass. You have to be on emergency for your dream. Every single day it must be a move. When you show up, people must move out of your way. When you show up with your ideas, people must know it's emergency. He means business. He's not talking about it. He's going to deliver on it. So you have to get in a position to understand that you must portray and behave your success and how you want to make things happen. I see Mavis are a morning coach. Good morning, Mavis. And then point number 3. Point number 1, I said you have to develop the courage to keep on keeping on. Point number 2, I said don't take things personal. Issues are not about you. You are not a problem. So don't store problems. You store greatness. You store potential. You store motivation. You store courage. And then point number 3, convince yourself that you will go through this. I can say all this 2 hours or 3 hours of motivation to you, but up until you believe that you can figure things out, you will never figure things out. I can encourage you and motivate you to be the best version of yourself. But up until you make it a personal decision that, Mr. Makwana, I decide and I commit to be the best version of myself. I'm willing to learn and apply myself. Not only will I have ideas, I'm willing to work on my ideas. And not only working on my ideas, I'm willing to get the results from my ideas, refine them, and keep on getting better. I still remember very well, 6 years ago, starting into this career, I didn't know how to pronounce some words. My English is not so good, if you should have realized, like right now. It's not so good, but I decided that I'm going to be the best of the best in this country and in Southern Africa and in Africa, and I'm starting at a young age, because when I'm 30, when I'm 35, when I'm 40, I'll be the best of the best. I will have more than 100 books. I will have more than programs, universities. Why? Because I was aware and I decided that I can figure things out. And I believe that I can be able to build whatever that I want to build. Why? Because I have the courage in me. So I'm challenging you, when things don't go well, activate this. Convince yourself that you are going to get through this. Convince yourself that this is what I was born for. I am going to push through this. Sometimes it's not even the push that's required. Have you ever gone to a place where you are visiting people, and you, from a distance, you feel like these people are not around, and you've been walking through the village, you're going to visit them, for the afternoon, and you look at the house like, oh, all the houses are locked, but if they were open, I would just chill and wait for them inside. And you were about to go back, but something tells you in, like, okay, just try this one. Just maybe try the lock, and you just take the lock and it opens, and there you go inside. You can have some tea, or you can even get some drink from the refrigerator. And there are so many examples that we can give, that when you thought that, oh my God, it seems like the gate is chained, is locked. You know this kind of gates where they already have the padlock that is already locked on the gate, and you think like it's locked while it's not. They just wrap the chain around, and you get there and oh, it's not even locked. You open, you get through, and you get whatever you want. That is life. And sometimes we are tested by so small things. It seems like it's locked. It seems like this is the end of your life. It seems like this relationship is going to kill you. It's not. It seems like it's not that. It's not the reality. But that people who are able to make breakthroughs through that, they know that sometimes it seems like they will never make a breakthrough. And therefore, with that seems like, they are willing to take action to see if indeed it is like that. And when we take action, we realize it was never like this. Life has a way of trying to find out how bad you want the things you say you want. And sometimes it's going to play fake on you. It's going to play all games on you. And if you don't show up, if you are not trusted over few, like the Bible says, if you're not trusted over few, if I cannot deliver my best in this live feed, it will be impossible to deliver my best behind 10,000 people in stadiums in the near future. Why? If you do your best now, if you practice now, if you sweat now, you are preparing yourself for the moments when things go wrong, that you are going to be saying, I'm not going to go with them. You are preparing yourself for that defining moment when someone says it's over and your thoughts are telling you, go and kill yourself, your life cannot go on without this person. When they tell you, we have to let you go, and you are thinking, oh my God, I have to let my life go. Defining moments are going to be defined by what you are building right now, your belief system right now, your ability to think clearly right now. As you think clearly during the beautiful times, when hard times come, that clarity you are still going to get. And therefore, I'm challenging you with our point number 3. Convince yourself that you are going to get through this, because I know you are going to get through this. One day you will tell me and say, Mr. Makwana, I still remember during the coronavirus, and you said, we are going to get through this. We are going to get through this. That is our mission, upward and forward. Kenny saying every level you are at has at least 100 people below you for every one of you who are inspired by you. Very true, saying. Very true. And then let me go to point number 4. Make changes. Some people are not willing to make any changes. Why? Because they have never made any changes. The bed they are making is still the same way. From January, the bed is still facing west. They haven't shifted things around to say, okay, now I'm shifting them around. I want my bed to be shifted to this side. The way they've been doing the routine is the same way, right? So the way they've been putting on clothes, like I'm used to wearing t-shirts for my sessions. When you call me and say, put on the suit, I love suits, but I don't like them. So now you are not used to making small adjustments in your life. Can you say if you are one of those people who are saying, you know what, now from January for now, I haven't changed the way I do my routine in the morning. It's tea and tea. Like me, porridge, papa, that's what I prefer with beef. So I have not made so much changes in my diet. But now I am indoor and I need to make a change on what I eat so that I don't gain weight and become overweight. I am indoor. Now, because now this challenge of the corona right now, or the challenge of the relationship breakup now, you have been used to be in this relationship for 5 years. Now the person is moving out of your life. Because you are the person who has not been able to shift that routine now and then, you feel like this is a major shift you have to make in your life by living alone without someone. Practicing is not only for Olympics, it is also for our lives. If you were not practicing how to change things when things were good, it's close to impossible to make a shift when things are bad. And therefore, most people today, they're not killed by corona, they're killed by the lack of ability to make a shift. So they have more depression than even the people who are going through corona right now. They have more sickness in them now than the people who are actually losing relatives due to corona. Why? Because during happy times, they were not able to make small adjustments. Now it's sad times. It's even close to impossible to make small adjustments. What am I saying? I'm saying as we go through life, even when you are happy, the relationship is booming, it's all love and hugs all the day long. Prepare for the time where it will not be doing that. So now and then, practice to be a person of shifting and changing things, trying new things. As you do that, you are practicing so that by the time you are hit with a problem where they are saying you can no longer work with us, now we have to let you go, you know that change is part of life. Most people don't know that because they don't make any small changes in their lives, in how they talk to their kids, how they do their parenting, how they do their breakfast in the morning, how they go to bed, the time they go to bed, the entertainment they listen to, the content they listen to, how they deliver their assignments. They have not changed anything in their lives. And therefore, when hard times hit them, it seems like it's the end of life because they are not used to shifting in their lives. Why are other people able to make more money during hard times and other people not? Because they know it's shifting, so they are always shifting and getting better. So practice shifting in your life. Today, change your lunch. Change how you do things. Change how you get to things. So as you do that, you are able to make a shift in your life. That is practice time. Small steps, great distances, guys. Small steps, great impact. Small steps, major shifts. Every single day, whatever we do is preparing us for whatever we can face in our lives. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So please be in consistent shifting and making changes. And this is the time where you need to make a shift from just blaming, complaining, and wishing things were better. Be better yourself. Get better yourself. Let me share my last point before I strain your data. The last point is develop a sense of urgency. Develop a sense of urgency. It's very hard, this one, because I still remember when my first relationship at a very young age, as a young man, moving from a heartbreak, and my friends were telling me, you only have a week before we write final examinations for our high school at Matseche, Bobono. So developing a sense of urgency without even recognizing that what I was practicing, I had to move away from my feelings. I have to override my feelings and say, this is time for exam time now. That sometimes another season shows up while we are still dealing with the other season. And the season is not going to wait for you to say, oh no, please, that one, please let him go. He's still going through a breakthrough. He's still going through a breakup. He's still going through a divorce. He's still going, no. Seasons are coming. And whether you are winning on this season or not, if you are not preparing for the next one, the rest of your life you'll be losing and losing and losing and losing. So a sense of urgency is understanding that whatever is happening today, my losses today, my wins today, I have to move quickly to face tomorrow. I have to move quickly to face next time. What did Les Brown say about this? He said something very important. He said, life is so quick. You are here today, you are gone today. Life is just like that. He said it's so dangerous that you cannot get out of life alive. So dangerous that whether you are doing something or not doing something, you still get kicked. Whether you are loving or not loving, you still get kicked. That all of us are going through something. But what makes winners win is that they develop a sense of urgency. I've been hurt, heartbroken, but now it's time for exam. I've been hurt, heartbroken, now it's time to apply for another job. Oh, I lost all the money, the corona closed all our deals. Now it's time to prepare for the next season. Every single day, we are evolving, and no season will wait for you because you are still dealing with another season. It's compile after compile, layer after layer, marginal improvements. That was I've written in my second book, Embrace Your Greatness, when I talk about marginal improvement, that over time we keep building one layer after the other. John C. Maxwell, one of the authors and the expert in the space of leadership, he calls it layered learning. Layer after layer of learning. So we have to make quick decisions and move fast. This is the best moment right now. There are people who are going to regret the time they spent here, because after this season, it's going to be hectic that some of their companies are going to force them to work on weekends and Sundays to catch up. And if you are not willing to catch up right now, lazing around right now, eating and not practicing how to deal with mindset, dealing with pressure right now, when that season comes, you are the one they are going to let go. Because you are not productive. Because you are still thinking, we are going to go back to work and it's still going to be the same. It will not be the same. Some of your colleagues are going to be fired, maybe including yourself. So if you are not get ready during this season, the other season is coming. It's not going to wait for you to come back and watch this video that I'm sharing today. It's not going to give you time. You are going to see my video pass and you are going to say, this guy. You are going to even hate me, because I'm telling the truth that if you are not getting to dealing with pressure, working extra hours, making calls, doing the jobs we were not doing before, when the season passes, you are going to have so much pressure that you yourself, you are going to write a resignation letter, because you are going to feel people don't like you. It's nothing personal. You have to do something now, because a new season is coming. Yes, it will pass, but when it passes, what skills are you going to show up with? What mindset are you going to show up with? What creativity are you going to show up with? Right now, as you are going through this, what ideas are you thinking that you are going to introduce to your workplace, to your teaching job, to your business environment, to your organization, to your relationship? What something new are you building now? It is those who make the best out of the way things turn out who make the best. So I'm scared that most people will survive Corona, but they are not going to survive in their workplaces. I'm scared that most people, they will survive the Corona, but they're not going to survive their relationships. I'm scared that most people will survive the Corona, but they're not going to survive on their financials. They will survive the Corona, but they're not going to survive on the mindset they have, dirty mindset they have, weak mindset they have. And therefore, as we deal with this season, we must be ready for the next season. That was my last point. But I want to conclude with this, what Robin Scholl once shared. How can we make a leap of faith from now onwards to dealing with this issue? He shared something very important. He said, by yard is hard, but inch by inch makes everything cinch. By yard is hard, but inch by inch makes everything cinch. That when you take one step every single day, when you are saying, Mr. Makwana, I heard you, but I want to be ready when this Corona thing passes. Take 3 things every day that you are going to commit to do so that you get better. Preparing for that son or daughter you are expecting, preparing for that relationship. Some of you are on hold, you are preparing for that to be married. Some of you are preparing for that promotion. They will still promising you a promotion, and this hit, and you are no longer sure whether they're still going to talk about promotion or not. By yard is hard. When you think of too much things, it's very hard. But inch by inch, step by step, makes everything cinch. It combines everything. It puts everything into perspective. You are still here, and it means you are still in the game, my friend. So make sure you share this live feed. We are left with only 3 days to end our daily feeds. But those who are willing to sign up for my programs, make sure to continue with me and make sure you ask on how can you be part of these coaching sessions. Now I'm going to be focusing on my students on the Empowered Second Leadership Academy. It has been a lovely 15 days of motivation, and I'm very happy for the feedback you are giving. Some of you, it has changed your relationships, your lifestyle so tremendously, and I'm very happy for those feedback. Continue being the best version of you. It's not only me. There are so many people who can learn from on finances, you can learn from on relationships, you can learn from on businesses. Be a student of life. Be willing to learn and apply yourself. That's all I can share. Make sure you share this live feed.